Hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning in today. I am excited. I am excited. We are definitely back again later on, like I said that we would. So many of us have questions. Many of us um, don't really know fully where to go and where we could go. So I'm excited to bring on with me Miss Ertha Harris today. She is going to come on and help us just do a little bit of business mapping. Miss Ertha Harris is a Baltimore legend. She's run for city council. She has been a community activist. She has done so much in the community and has been so just such a server. She gives so much of her time, so much of her effort, so much of her energy. So I really value what she has to say, and I'm excited to bring her on. We are going to bring her on in a few minutes, but first and foremost, I wanted to go through um, with you guys just a few things that we have going on, a few things that we are changing, some things that are being added, and some things that we are just sticking to the flow with. Okay. All right. So we have right here Muggle Vote. Sorry. Muggle Vote. So the Muggle Vote will be a new service that we are going to offer only solely to you guys here in the private Facebook group chat. You will be able to have content and uh, books, ebooks, workbooks that we find on leadership development, lifestyle, anything of that sort that we deem would be helpful for you guys. You can also tell us and record and write out what you'd like to see us posting for you guys so that we can, give you what you actually want. I don't want to post things and I don't want to put things up that you guys don't need. So let's make sure that you are being fed correctly and that you're eating the necessary tools, you're eating the necessary um, things to help you become stronger business person and grow and truly develop. Um, so we have the Mogul Vote. I'm going to be posting books like The Warrior Mindset, Think Rich, Think Grow Rich, other books that I actually have the properties to. So, dude, you can't say, "Oh, this is you just uh, excuse me. This is you just selling other people's stuff. Copyright. I own the copyrights to these things, you guys. So um, when you start to get into that realm, then come holler at me and tell me what I'm doing. All right. So we have Muggle Vote. We also have you guys. I'm proud to talk to you guys and present to you guys Muggle University. Muggle University. We are going to talk to you guys all things business, finance, and lifestyle. So that is all things coming to you from a business perspective of how to start your business. Examples like today would be the videos of today and the footage that you'll see today would be an example of what you will see on there. Okay, and then from Muggle University, it's going to be right now once again just to you guys in the private Facebook group. If you want to learn about marketing, if you want to learn about reading, writing, coaching, go through a few sessions with me. This will all be your entry fee. So it's only $39.97 for you. Okay, $39.97. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Hey, you guys. So I'm on the phone right now with Miss Eartha. We are trying to get connected via live stream. So just please hang on there with me. And we will be right back. Okay, you guys. We'll be back shortly. I'm just trying to get her on properly. All right.
Ah,
So
man,
we're
that was
in
a
here.
hard task, but I did it.
Technology sometimes could be,
It
they say it's supposed to help, but it can be annoying
I
sometimes. I
know because I was
understand.
on a
Um,
seminar early today. Sorry. I was on a seminar early today, and they was talking about the kids going back to school and people being able to, again, have better technology so the kids can really learn. Because a lot of people are having problems with this homeschooling. Take them 15, 20 minutes to get the kids together just to, you know, just to get the technology part right.
that's true. Yeah, they got to wake up, start, get everything ready.
And I had three that I was babysitting, and my thing is that I really needed to be with them because they were seven, and to make them sit still, pay attention, help them out. I thought I could just open it up and say, "Oh, you're in front of the teacher, pay attention, and I'm gonna go do what I do and come back." I don't know. That ain't how it happened for me. Now I don't know if it happened for other people like that, but
Yeah,
I
you
had to
gotta
say,
watch them, make sure they
pay
awake,
attention.
everything. Good
Yeah, so
luck.
I can see what everybody's going through now. But again, like you said, we gotta figure out a way to work this thing out.
Yes, ma'am. Well, we're on. I'm excited. I'm glad that you are with me. Like I was talking to them about our Muggle University, like the conversations that we're going to have, or the conversation we have tonight, is going to be some of the stuff that we're going to be posting or having on our Muggle U, where we're going to, break down business models, the business language, all of those things
Okay.
to people so that they can understand. So I called you earlier. Um, let's start with this. How would you handle a client or customer, um, someone coming to you and they're willing to put in the work, but they just don't know where to start? You know. So what would you
That
say?
is the key. You just hit it on the key. Some
Yeah.
people don't know where to start, right? So sometimes when you're dealing with people, and I'm going to put myself in the category of a consultant, it's the patience. Because, like you said, sometimes people come to you, they want that right now answer, but I got to be patient to see where they're coming from in order to get them to go where they want to go. So it all depends on where they try to go. I just had a friend of mine call me. She's buying a house. She got all of this anxiety going on. And I said, okay, well, tell me what's stopping you from buying a house. She said, oh, the lady called me up and she said, I see on your credit that you went to Home Goods and you bought all this sort of stuff. And I said, okay, I can understand. And she was like, what that got to do with it? It got to do with the fact that they're trying to figure out, with all these people that's going through foreclosure who did the same thing that you did, had this hype idea that you was going to buy this house and pay this mortgage and nothing was going to stop you, then why are they foreclosing? Because they know that if you guys do not prioritize and say to yourselves, when I get this house, forget about I want a couch, dining room furniture, paint my house or whatever. The first thing they want to make sure is that you don't get into any other debt besides paying this house. And one little thing could throw your budget off. So and then like you said, because we don't talk to each other, Kenyon, somebody should tell somebody, if you're going to buy a house, don't do nothing until you get in that house, right? Even if you say, dang, my car's broke down, we need a car, honey, we ain't doing nothing until we get in that house, because all of that debt is going to count against you when you're trying to buy the next big ticket item. They will give you a car loan before they give you a homeowner's loan, right? You see people riding around with
That's
$25,000
so
cars,
good.
$30,000 cars,
Yeah.
don't have no homes. And they got a loan for that because it ain't like they had that money in their pocket. So the first thing, we take our patients and we find out what is your what is your purpose for doing whatever you're doing. So when I understand your purpose, then I can deal with all of the things that may have stopped you from having it in the first place. Because when they get to me, it's pretty much just basically trying to tell me the same things that I already know. Something stopped you, right? Did you understand the system that you're getting into? Even if you wanted to go to college, right? A lot of kids say, I'm stuck with this student debt. It's because you didn't take your time and find out where was the scholarships. You can go to your political leaders. They supposed to give you some money. You should have went to your church. They could have donated some money. The family could have put up money. But the only thing you did was go to school and they said, well, you can take out this loan, and you took it. So now you owe $60,000, $80,000 in school debt because you didn't think this thing out and say, wait a minute, I'm not paying all this debt to go to college. I have to find out other ways to get rid of debt. I think society knew that if African Americans would be bogged down into debt, that would have been another way to slow us down from being able to be as effective as we wanted to be, right? Because people been, if it came the fact that you had to take care of your son or do XYZ, you're gonna take care of your son. Like I gotta go feed my son. I can't go out here and be an activist out in the street protesting all day and doing all these things. And my wife be looking at me like, man, you better get a job. So I
Yeah, show
think
me the
again
money.
with us being able to come together, that's why I love meeting you and meeting people like Melon, is that the young people are brighter, right? And because y'all are brighter, we should be in a position to give you things so you can manifest those things into stuff that we never did, right? You told me you were trying to buy a house. But wouldn't it be beautiful that right now someone was getting ready to give you a house, someone in your family passing it down and be like, you don't never have to worry about a house, son. When men, whoever pass away, this is your house, right? We don't have that method. Young people are going to be out here buying homes because they didn't have a way that somebody built their generation wealth.
Yeah, I like that a lot. So it's like you said, basically counting the cost, not only counting the cost, but seeing if, making sure you're ready to pay that cost because you just jump in it and you don't pay it. But then also understanding that there's more than one way to skin a cat. And I said that earlier. We sometimes talk ourselves out of stuff because we're so stressed and we thinking that it's only one way, but there's definitely more than one way to skin a cat, and that's a good thing.
And when you're skinning that cat, as they say, if we're going to use the term skin a cat, first of all, the cat is saying, why you put me into the picture? Because I don't want to be the skin cat. What you're trying to say is that if you're trying to figure out a cat's supposed to have 9 lives, so I use that terminology more, is that there could be 9, 10, 12, 13 ways that we can come up with getting to the same place, right? There's not just one road, there's a lot of roads and a lot of options. You could fly, train, bus, car, walk, bike. But we have this thing that we train ourselves in our society when we come up against stuff, it's always, I want the easy way out. And if it ain't the easy way, I might not do it at all, right? So if you think about whatever you're getting ready to do, and you might be like, I don't know if I want to do it, if I got to do all that to do it. Versus if you're saying to yourself, if that's what I got to do, then that's what I got to do. I'm going to do this thing. Going back to me with the commemoration of the Million Man March, as I told you and younger people who wasn't exposed to it, if we decide to do a sunrise prayer, how you gonna do a sunrise prayer if you get up past the sunrise? But they know that I want a sunrise prayer, but I don't want to do it because I got to get up 5 o'clock in the morning. But I'm saying, how you gonna have a sunrise prayer then? So those are the things we have to think in our minds, is that this stuff that we came up with, if the things that you're getting in life or what you want in life, that's something that you want. So what part did you play into what's happening to you right now? If you look at your life, do you say to yourself, now what part am I playing into what's happening to me, still are doing the opposite and looking at the circumstances around you? You got to ask yourself, what part you playing in? Why are you at the spot that you're at right now? Because if you want to be at a different spot, then do something different. Because it is hard out there.
Exactly, and that's so true. People aren't willing to be reflective within themselves and make those hard decisions and say, hey, like for myself, I'll just be transparent. I posted the Thrive Tea in the group. I started that like a whole week and a half ago, and it was because I was transparent to myself. Hey, You smoking a little too much, buddy. You know, you spend a little too much money on this when you have other things that you got to do. Are you going to take the hard roll and keep doing it and making excuses, or are you going to actually figure out a way to cut back, detox? You know, get yourself where you are not dependent on something. And that's what we have to do. We have to make those hard decisions and have those hard conversations within ourselves. Because I said it again before, the inner me is the true enemy. You know, sometimes we don't deal with the inner me, and then we allow, you know, stuff that's on the inside to manifest and to rot our ideas, to rot our plans, to rot our business ventures that we have. We let it rot because we're not making those hard decisions and saying, okay, like you said, instead of saying, "Oh my gosh, how am I going to get this?" Is saying, "Okay, this is what we got to do. Let's get it done. Let's get it done."
And the funny part about life, why is it that we get caught up in this intelligent thing that people want to make like they know everything? You don't know. You don't know what's going to happen. So then you beat yourself up because you're supposed to be this smart person that is no way that you're not doing all the right things, saying all the right things, being no, that's not how life should be. Life is like this. You don't know what's going to happen, but your instincts, if you tap into them, will tell you what to do. You know how you feel. You know what you want to be. You know what's what. But we haven't been able to do that because from day one, when you're born, your parents and your surroundings have already decided what they want you to be, and if you don't, they're going to beat it into you, right? Because if you don't do what I say do, or what mom say do, or what the school system say do, what your friends say do, then everybody's gonna give you their daggone opinion, right? So then you live your life through that opinion, right? Because you don't know. You be like, well, if that's the opinion that I suppose to, be this great guy, go to college, get a good job, raise the family, do this, do that, and all this sort of stuff, then you get caught up in it, right? But then your body might be saying, nah, I don't want to do all that. I don't want to do that stuff. What do you want to do? Nothing. You want to do nothing? Then you're a bum. How dare you don't want to do nothing? That's not natural to want to go to college, to want to study books and really when you're studying, you're trying to memorize somebody else's words and thoughts. Education is not even a critical concept. They don't let you go and just let your mind wander. They're like, okay, you go and you learn this and you come back and take this test. And if you don't pass this test, that means I didn't brainwash you yesterday because you don't remember what I told you to remember from the books, right? So you come to the next class and you're like, I read it. Well, what you think? I don't know. I got it was boring. I really didn't pay attention to it. It didn't catch my mind. I don't even think about. Oh, you get an F, right? Why I get an F? Because it was boring, and the only reason I read it because you told me to read it and you made me read it because it wasn't something that I wanted to do. Now, if you was the opposite, you went home and you said, well, I'm gonna go back and tell these people some stuff that I learned or give them my thoughts the next day in class. You would get up every day and be excited because you'd be like, oh, I'm going to this class tomorrow and tell them what I think, what I got on my mind, what I have experienced through my life. Not that I went home and studied some information that somebody want me to brainwash myself. I got thoughts of my own, right? Same thing with y'all kids. You'll say it to your son, look, son, you got to learn your ABCs. You got to learn how to count. You got to do all this sort of stuff because then that way I can show people how smart and bright you are because you memorize all this sort of stuff. Like if he didn't know that stuff, he wouldn't be a bright kid, right? Because he's gonna be a bright kid regardless whether he remember that stuff or not. But that's how you want the society to measure your child, and then your child grows up to say, if I don't learn a certain way, or if I don't do a certain way, then people are gonna say that I'm not smart. If I don't go to college, if I don't get the good job, if I don't have all this money, then everybody got their opinion, right? But that doesn't make or break you. Michael Jackson died, Prince died, a lot of people that had a lot of money died. They probably wish they was the bum on the street right now. Trade places, like trading places. What you want to be? A person like Michael Jackson, who was supposed to be a genius, that changed his complexion, his skin, his mind. He acted like a cuckoo man, all for the sake of the image that he was trying to portray underneath of the natural talent that he had, right? Because whatever he had was natural. Because he didn't go to school, he didn't learn how to sing and all that sort of stuff. But because of the people around him, they forced him to have their influence of what they thought he should look like and do and whatever. So same thing with Prince. So you guys got to be able to do that. Hopefully you're learning better that you have to tap into yourself. I think stuff like marijuana, alcohol, any type of substance stuff is not bad. It's the way you utilize it, right? Because if you want to be in another zone, they did back there in Africa. But we use stuff to zone out. See, they use stuff to get more tapped into what they naturally was doing. You could dance better, sing better, feel better. We want to get away from the pain, so we use stuff, and then when you wake up, the pain is still there, right? So they wanted to get more in tune to what they was doing. So when they woke up, their lives was even better. They could better warriors, better, building the village. They got up every day, might have been building the village, might have been out there farming or whatever. You guys just wake up. You're like, okay, that was a nice one. I went and got somebody, I had to take him away, work, a young guy. And he was bugging me to be on there. I got there on time. And then when I got there on time, I'm calling him because he ain't coming out yet. I'm like, what's wrong with you? So I called me like, I was trying to find a shirt. I'm like, you waited till this morning to try to find a shirt, knowing you got to go to work. But then I had to remind myself, that's how young people thinking. You know what I'm saying? You got to go to work. You the one don't want to lose your job, but you're not preparing yourself for what you already made a decision in. And again, he probably, again, didn't get up because of how young people think they can deal with society, but you can't, because society is not set up for you to win. That's why that man tell you got to be there on time. He didn't say to you, well, look, when you get here, could you just do that for me? I don't care how long it takes or whatever it takes you to do it. He sets you up you better be to work on time. You only get a half an hour break. You get off on time. You only have this many days of vacation, this many. So all of that is a control factor. It ain't nothing to do with what he needed you to do to get paid for. I can't hear you.
Interesting, interesting. I had to unmute myself. Sorry, it was getting to the mute. Um, but yeah, so you're saying your community can either make or break you. So whoever you're around, they can either make or break
Yes.
you. So you got to be around people to help you, push you, people who are going to actually talk to you and give you what you need to get to that next level. And then also, it's certain steps that you have to take yourself in order to meet and match up with uh, what's the with what's at the table. How I guess I'll say it like that. Match what's at the table. You're ready to eat, you're ready to dine, you're ready to be like the king. So you need to match with how the table is set out before you. So you're saying be prepared, be ready, be ready to be set up, be ready to do the work, put in the work, do the sacrifices if it's if it's
Oh, it's
necessary.
gonna be necessary. I'm saying life is about sacrifices. You're not
Oh
gonna get
yeah.
out of this life unscarred.
Mm-hmm.
So what
Live
y'all want to
today.
wake up
Yeah.
and y'all want to like, I'm not gonna be. Yeah, you're gonna be scarred. You're gonna have a rough time. You're going all that you think ain't gonna happen to you. It's gonna happen to you. Now, how you are prepared to handle it, and you survive it. So life is about surviving, right, and handling it. So, for instance, you could come from a good loving family, but that could be a killer because your family love you so much they don't even let you get hurt. Don't go outside. Don't leave the steps. Don't do this. Don't do it. So you grow up your whole life not really being in a position of harm. But then one day you turn 18 and then they let you out. You be like, whoa, hold up. Why am I off the steps now? Oh, you 18. Get off the steps. You're like, well, wait a minute. I've been sitting on the steps. You didn't even let me go nowhere. How did we come up with that idea? So that's why you have so many unprepared people, because you can't just be making somebody a certain way because of an age, because of what you think the maturity is, right? But if you think about it, and I'm just assuming when we were back in our right mind in history, from day one you came out the womb, you were observing how the rest of the people were surviving. They were teaching you how to survive, right? Like you said, if you was a cub, your mama's gonna protect you. Your dad is gonna protect you because they ain't gonna let the other animals eat you up. But also they taught you how to fight because they knew one day they may not be around and you may have to try to get this animal to stop killing you, or even get some other African person to stop killing you. Right? They didn't make you grow up thinking that they could stay there and protect you all their life. Right? That's why we had training. That's why if you saw this weekend, they had a rites of passage training at the gentleman named Doug Chase's place for young men. One thing I think our culture skips, we don't have any training. We want people to come out of the wombs learning how to be a male, learning how to be a female, even if you're gay, straight, or whatever, but you still should learn something. My friend told me, he says something like if somebody called you gay or somebody called you a bitch or whatever, why would you turn around if that's not what you are? I said, it doesn't matter, because if someone called me gay and I was gay, I would turn around and say, hey, you talking to me? But if someone called me a bitch, and I don't care if it was me as a straight woman, a gay woman, or whatever, I would turn around and cuss that person out, because ain't none of us bitches. Okay? So I don't care if we straight, gay, or what, ain't none of us bitches. And you be like, but that don't make a sense, because if you're not a bitch, you're not. No. We have to understand who we are. And when people are talking to us derogatory, I know somebody might call me a nigga and somebody might say, you my nigga. There's a difference. I know if I'm your nigga, I'm good. Right, Ken? But if you call me a nigga, me and you gonna have a problem. So those are the type of things that we haven't sat down and had among ourselves, so we can get an understanding of, do we love our own selves? Are we proud of ourselves? Are we defending each other? Do we make sure that this is not about me or you, it's about us? Remember I told you, who's the we? So you're not gonna be talking bad about me, and they're not gonna be talking bad about you. If I'm in the room and we the we, then we're gonna act like warriors and we're gonna defend ourselves. So people have us living in this separate, your kid is not my kid. You and your wife is not my tribe. We got to get back to that. You are. Because then that way you guys should be thinking, well, let me see if I call Ertha, baby, she can pick me up, give me a ride, or she can give me some food, or she can watch the baby, or watch the chickens and all them other things y'all got. But if we don't think community, then when y'all have a situation, you're going to look like you out there by yourself and you're not going to call on nobody. And people say to me all the time, I don't want nobody to know my business. That is your business. That's why the white man separate us, because they make us feel like we shouldn't know each other's business. Yes, we should. Because when you in it, that's why when you got married, they made everybody witness it, because it was all our business to make you remind you, excuse me, you married. That's why they have people come to weddings, so people can see it with their own eyes, to hold people accountable. That's why people can get divorced, because nobody's in their business. Nobody don't want to say, wait a minute, hold up, give me my money back and all my gifts because I came to the wedding. Right? So we don't have nothing to hold us back. You guys got to take a break from the kids. Moms used to watch the kids, whatever. But if people away from their family, they don't even really have no break from their own children, because you can't send your kid over to another tribe. You don't know what they're going to do to them. So yeah, we have to have a more tribal networking type of opportunity, so we can say who's the we. And when we to figure out who's the we should have every skill within our village that we need. We should never wake up, not one day, not being able to be successful based on our own we, right? And that's why I like starting back over again. Like you said, if I'm not helping you, or if I got to get on this live, which took me forever, whether I got to make sure that you say, hey, come on my radio show. We say, hey, make sure y'all get the IBA card. We say, hey, let's go to the Freedom Paper Company. We say, hey, let's go help Chase with the youth. We got so many people doing things that it's a shame that we haven't really been able to be as successful as we know that we should, because we don't want to face the truth. The truth of the matter, and I'll say this on anybody's broadcast, the truth of the matter is us, right? There's no reason why you should be broke. There was no reason why you should be worried about anything. There's no reason. And if you are, It's because of us. It's not because of the system. It's not because of the white man. It's not because it's us. Because we have to sit down and make sure that we are the kings and queens. We are the brilliant people that we are, and we have to act like it. Do you know the guy named Enhotep? Enhotep again did the race first philosophy. People say, "Oh, I saw you on there. You had the race first shirt on." Is that y'all? Excuse me. First of all, you should go talk to that brother. That's why I asked you, did you know him? Don't try to get the information from me. But I understood what the brother said. He said, if I felt so good about myself or whoever I am as a race, I would not be living in the ghetto with boarded up houses, with trash on the street, with my kids. And I'd be living like in kingdom, right? Because when you feel good and you make your surroundings suit your who you are, who we are as a people. We were great people. We would live in a beautiful community. So he's saying it got to be something that we don't feel about ourselves, that we're sitting around, you walk outside, there's trash all over the street, people hanging on the corners, kids. Then that's us. So we have to go back to, let's think about who we are as a people. Let's think about our race. Let's think about our ancestors. Let's think about, do we have pride in ourselves of thinking of all these people who came before us? Because I wasn't the one, I'm 60 years old and still learning history. But I know for a fact, all these people who came before me and did all of that work and died and did all of that stuff, it is no reason that I should not wake up and be great. I own my own house, got the business, got the daughter successful. And I try to say to myself, when I meet someone, I'm going to try to say, hey, here's the example. You want to be me? Then I suggest that you do what I do. And it took a lot of hard work, right? And it's still taking lot of hard work. Because even at 60 years old, I would like more. I would like to be like, hey, Ken, we got our own building now. We got our own businesses going on. I'm glad that we have our own radio show, because just like with the media that you have, regardless if anybody doesn't watch us, you know what I told people? I meant to tell you this. Somebody said, well, how many people watch your radio show? I said, it don't matter. I watch all radio shows. That's what matters. Well, what you talk about? Whatever I want to talk about. So these are, because you know what happens? This is the same person that doesn't have this young money mogul thing that you have. Right? They ain't got this. This is the same person that ain't doing what you're doing, but they want to criticize what you're doing because they don't know how to say, even if nobody listened to it but me, I still did something. I did something that nobody else is doing. And that's when you have to really understand your greatness. It's not about being great. It's about your greatness, and you can do something. You can make stuff happen. Go on Facebook, whatever you're doing. I made a lot of stuff happen in my life, and people want to say stuff about me, but I'm smarter and wiser to say, but you ain't do it. You ain't do it. I say that to myself all the time. And one guy said, that's your problem. You're so cocky. You're so whatever. Good. Because I learned about that. Remember they say, hey, Kim, when they say, oh, you think you all that? You supposed to say you damn right. But in our culture, when they tell us that we think we all that, we supposed to humble ourselves and say, man, nah, man, I'm just trying to. No, you should think you all that in a bag of chips. That's what you should think. You think
I
you
agree. I definitely agree.
I definitely agree
What you're saying.
with what you're saying. I definitely. What do I'm trying to say right now? Let me focus for a second, okay? So, because you got me stirred. This is what happens when we talk. I get all jittery. When I was at the Millionth Man March, okay, or the Million Man March, sorry, that was one thing that he had said that really rung in with me. You can't love others if you don't love yourself, and you have to love yourself enough and respect yourself enough to not do certain things and to go after certain things. So you should have a boundaries and limits, within yourself, and say, okay, this is as far as I'm going when it comes to this certain thing or alcohol or whatever. I'm not drinking. I'm only drinking once a week or something. Whatever it is, there should be a boundary where you love yourself enough that you're not going to continue to harm yourself. And then, like you said, you love yourself enough that you're able to love on others, and it's not a additive, or it's not something that you're looking for in return. It's not like, oh, I'm doing this because I know you're going to help me out later on. This is, no, I genuinely love myself and I genuinely care enough about others that I want to see you be better and I want to see you grow. That's definitely why I'm still here and I'm still, harassing you about videos and the radio show and all that, because I recognize that you love yourself enough and you respect yourself enough that you're able to turn it around and help others. And even speaking on that, turning around and helping others, I have this question I want to ask you right now. We talked about how, I was saying I got in an accident and, just that whole stress of dealing with all that and rental cars and things of that sort. What would you say to a young person or someone right now who's trying to manage the stress in their lives, or who's trying to manage what it may seem like an overload of the sensories at the moment? Just everything is just going on, and if it, like they say, if it ain't one thing, it's another. What would you have to say to a young person to help them to focus, to help them to recognize about keeping the main thing the main thing? What would you say to them?
I would say lay on the floor on your back. See what I'm saying? Lay on the floor on your back. You know why? Because it can't do nothing but look up. So this is what people on that, the lowest you can get is laying on the floor on your back. So where you gonna go from there? Nothing but up. So what happens is that you have to understand that the things that we're doing is nothing but wants. You want a car, you want the house, you want. None of those things killed you. It put you flat on your back. So while you flat on your back, if you remind yourself, well, shit, it ain't like I ain't never had a car, never had a house, never had the boat coat. So what happens is that we always think everything is permanent. And when you think things are permanent, you're going to get scared and frustrated and whatever, because you can't see the ceiling. You're not looking up. You can't see the sky. You're not looking at nothing but the fact that, damn, I don't want to be flat on my back. But the crazy part about being flat on your back is like sometimes it'd be like, okay, well, shit, I can't go do nothing but get up. If you don't have the car, if you don't go on that trip to the Thanksgiving, if you don't, none of that stuff is gonna kill you guys. So what you're doing is, young people, because you're young, because I was young too, you didn't say, well, is it really that serious? Because hey, honey, me, you, and him, we're gonna sit here and we're gonna eat this French fries among ourselves and be thankful that we're alive. I'm gonna be thankful that I'm alive, because anything past me being alive ain't even worth it. If I'm dead, then none of that stuff worth it, right? So as long as I'm alive, I'm going to eliminate my stress, because the life that I have gives me the opportunity that I need. I need to get the hell up, right? Because I'm alive. I don't need to be saying to myself, shit, this shit ain't working out. I'm working every day. I'm struggling. It seems like everything, every time I turn around, shit ain't working for me and whatever. Okay, well, go to the cemetery and trade places with anybody in there and say, look, come here, Ken. You go lay down. I'll go out there and try to solve the same damn problems that you're talking about. Because we're still getting caught up in man-made stuff, because nobody doesn't really understand spirituality, whether you believe in Jesus, God, or whatever. You're going to die. So he's saying to you, I am the creator. You're not the creator. I was the creator. So you know what I did? I gave you the one thing that you only need. I gave you life. Now, when I give you this life, you want to come up with all this bullshit. This, that, and the other. And you arguing about what? No, you better tell me every day that you wake up. Thank you. Now, what I gotta do? I gotta go feed the chickens. I gotta feed the rabbits. I gotta take care of my son. I gotta deal with my wife. I gotta go to Uber. I gotta do all this. You know why? Because I'm alive. That's why. Because if I wasn't alive, I wouldn't do none of this shit. And I'm going to think it out. So maybe I'm going to go in a quiet space. That's why they do tell us to meditate, go somewhere quiet, get your shit together. Because when you, young people, y'all got so much coming at you guys, right? So get somewhere and sit down and say, now I got to think of when I do make that move, Ubering, taking care of my son, dealing with my wife, the rabbits and whatever, how I'm going to do all that. Then you take that time, and that's when you're using your brain, and you start to do actions that may get you the results that you need. Because as long as you're alive, you can use your brain and come up with some actions that's going to make your stuff manifest, right? You only And what I love about people that have children, and like they say, when you have children, you are stressed, but the fact that you got that gift, which is that child, when that child started to grow, then you're gonna be like, oh shit, ain't nothing. Look at that, I turned around and your ass 10. Then you're gonna miss all that by being stressed out, trying to do so much for him. And all he don't even know nothing. All he needs is you. He don't even know nothing about all that stuff that y'all trying to acquire for him. But if you say to yourself, you know what, I'm gonna make sure that I install in my son some memories, and his memories are gonna be small, just hanging out with you, walking the dog, doing stuff that ain't got nothing to do with the financial whatever. Then he's gonna grow fast. He's gonna be 10, 12, 21. And don't care if you and your wife have a house, a car, boat, and plane. That experience that he had is going to be worth it when he start remembering all this stuff. And then hopefully by that time you're going to be mature because he's going to be in your state, stressed out, dead, this, that, and the other. You're like, ah, son, let me tell you, I used to be like that. But just remember, Daddy loves you. And if whatever the world has out there for you, you can always come home. Come home to Daddy. I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to be critical because we're the only race of people that throw our people out and want us to fend for ourselves because we say, okay, you grown. You're not supposed to be living up here with your wife and your kids. Why not? That way you get to see the kids, you get to see the wife. Maybe you can help them stay together. So don't always keep pushing our children out into the world to make them feel like they have to go get their own. Have your son grow up and let him know that everything you acquire is his. Everything that you do is for him to take over so he won't have to feel as though he has to start over. My daughter lives downstairs in a one-bedroom apartment. I've been in this house for 20, probably 25 years. But when I first bought this house, I said, I'm going to buy me a house with an apartment so my daughter won't get on my nerves. You stay downstairs, I said, we go out. But look, the house is paid for, no mortgage. I'm not really working because I joke with my daughter every day. She's like, Mom, when you going to get a job? You got a job. Tell your son that too, Ken. Hey, I do all this work so I grew up old and had to work hard. I did all this work on you. So when I grow up, I'm really going to retire. I'm going to chill out and you got me, son. You got a good job. You out there. You face the world and go out there and struggle because all Daddy got to do is stay with the things that he loved to do. Now that when you get comfortable and not afraid that he's not capable of doing what he has to do, it's going to make you your second part of life. That's another thing. If y'all young people haven't gotten older, when you get like 50 or 60, you really should set your mind to be free. That's why I probably do what I'm doing. I'm not afraid enough of shit. I already lived half of my life. If I do live another 50 years, believe me, it's going to be a great 50 years because Ertha Harris has learned. It ain't nothing that I haven't done, seen, or whatever is going to make me stop and think that right now I should be enjoying my life. I should be able to be wiser. Because like I said, that smart thing is European talk. When we mature and experience things in life, you're going to get wiser. Don't care if you never went to college. That wisdom of surviving, and that's what I told you. If you can survive tomorrow, Ken, you're doing good. You wake up tomorrow, all you should have on your agenda is like, okay, what I gotta do today.
That's some good information right there. Especially, so just real quick, we're gonna go ahead and throw this caveat in, you guys. Tight Knit Radio every Saturday from 1 to 2. Go ahead and join us. It's WOLB Radio, Baltimore Radio, and we are on there, you guys. We are keeping and giving solutions, helping you guys understand, okay, how to run your business. Not even doing that, but being that tight knit group, being that tight knit community for you to come together and for you to have someone to lean on. Ertha Harris is doing a wonderful job over there at WOLB Baltimore radio station. And if you want to support or if you want to be a patron of any type of way, go ahead and cash app her at Ertha Harris. And you can put a note on it if you want or whatnot. But go ahead and send it that way. I'm excited and I'm grateful that I am connected with you. Because especially like what you said, that gratitude, so many people are so they think so much of themselves and inwardly that we forget that we have a work out there for others. And when when you have gratitude and you show gratitude, it shifts your perspective, because then it's not about It's not just about me, and I'm going through. It's, well, I thank you for this day. I thank you that you've allowed me to be alive still. I thank you that you've given me these opportunities. Like you said, so I love it, and it's funny how we said that this was titled business mapping, but even for young money muggles, all things business, finance, and lifestyle. All right, in order to have a good business, in order to have good finances, you have to have a good lifestyle. So you guys, it's okay to slow down. It's okay to breathe. It's okay to just lay down for a minute and look up and realize that that's the only option. That's the only thing that you have to do is just to go upward from here. All right. It may seem like you're on your floor. It may seem like you're at that bottom experience, but just remember, you can only go up. I'm grateful for this time. Thank you, Miss Eartha, for coming on. I'm really, really, really appreciative. I really appreciative. So go
Well,
ahead
I
and
really appreciate you, and I think again, I'm so excited because I hate when people put everybody in a box. And like you said, what you're doing now with making the young people understand that just to get connected, because I always use that with you and everybody else. If they stay connected to you and get the resources that you're getting, because it is about business, but business, guys, is something that European people still came up with. Because our business, you and our business, it's about purpose. And your purpose will create that financial wealth that you're looking for because there's nothing, no skills, product, or service that we can't handle. So tap into it, find somebody that's black owned, support that black owned business. And like he said, stay connected with Tight Knit Saturdays 1 to 2 on WLOB 1010. You can listen to it on the web, www.wlob1010.com, or you can go on our Facebook page, Tight Knit Movement, and Ken will have all that posted for you. So I appreciate you, young man.
don't forget to subscribe and be plugged.